Hi, welcome to Focus Friday of Blossoms in Bloom and Many Layered Blossoms dies. These will be the first two cards we're going to make. I like you a lot and thinking of you. We're going to use this sheet of adhesive because of the delicate die. First we put our cardstock on the adhesive. Just cut off the portion we need, and then we put our die right on top, and we're going to go to the die machine, cut it out, and poke out all the little pieces. These pieces we're not going to use, but it's kind of delicate, so it takes a little bit to get it all taken apart. There we go. So now we have our die. Makes it a fun mess. It's a messy card. Using our brush, our die brush, to remove the flowers, and there's just a couple pieces left over, so poke them out with our pierce tool. Or your take your pick tool, works great. This cardstock is Calypso Coral. So now it is adhesive backed, which is going to make it so easy to adhere to our white. The white comes out rather easy, which is nice. We're going to use the stamp. Always put your stamp on your surface to let it relax, and then apply your acrylic to the stamp. Bumblebee is the color that we'll be stamping the sentiment with. And our card front is going to be Just Jade. So peel off some of the backing to the adhesive and get my first little piece positioned. And then I thought maybe I could peel off as I go, but then I discovered it's just as well to take all the backing off at once and then position your cardstock over the white, or your layer over the background. It goes on pretty easily. There we go. That was pretty nice. No fussing with sticky adhesives all over. Okay, we're going to use Just Jade, and we're going to create a background here. Just randomly stamp. Gonna layer it onto another piece of Just Jade, and then we'll adhere the flowers on top with our multi-purpose glue. And then using dimensionals for the sentiment across the top. Here's a technique for positioning perfectly your card front to your card base. This is great for beginners. Your card base then gets folded, and make little tabs so that you perfectly position your card front before all the adhesive is adhered to the base. Once it's positioned well, you just pull the tabs off. That's card 1. Now for card 2, we're going to cut out 2 of these flowers, or 3 of these flowers, with the background will be Calypso coral, and we'll just layer the flowers together with our multi-purpose liquid adhesive. Okay, those are ready. Now we're going to stamp with this larger stamp with Bumblebee. So when you have a larger stamp, it's best to lay it face up on your surface and put the stamp pad down onto the stamp. Make sure it's evenly inked up. If it sticks when you turn it over, just rub it, and then you can make sure that all the surfaces inked up well. We're going to use just Jade for some leaves. And then we'll use Calypso coral to put the centers of the flowers in. Just Jade again for the sentiment. Onto a little piece of just Jade. And then we just kind of position it there and figure out where to layer our flowers over the top, with considering where the sentiment is going. There we go. Then we'll use Stampin' Dimensionals on the sentiment to raise it up a bit. Burnish the card base, and then adhere the card front to the base, and then we're going to be using some of the Flowers for Every Season gems. This is your Take Your Pick tool, and it's so helpful in picking up the little gems or sequins that you use on your cards. There we go, card number 2. Okay, I wanted you to see I used press and seal for this. You've seen probably a lot of crafters using it now, but it's so helpful in holding all the pieces together when you have a real intricate can't even say it, real delicate pieces. So bear with me as I pull the die-cutted piece that I want to use. I want all the background to stay stuck to the press and seal, and that way I could use it for another card. This color is Night of Navy. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool, which is so helpful. So I can use this on another card. Press and seal. Wonderful stuff. Our background is gray granite. Now I'm going to color with blends. and this is Mint Macaron. And we'll color the flowers with Magenta Madness. Always make sure you have a piece of paper under your cardstock you're coloring when you use the blends, because the blends do soak through the paper. I forgot a leaf. Okay. Using Magenta Madness for the sentiment. Get well soon. And we're going to use the ribbon. Okay, burnish the card base. We can start layering the card front, cardstock of gray granite, using the multi-purpose adhesive for our flowers that were die cut. And the same adhesive to adhere the ribbon. We're going to layer it. Be careful when you use this adhesive with the ribbon, because it does kind of go right through the fabric. So now Calypso Coral, we're going back to our large flower stamp, and again it's face up to get the best ink impression. Then stamped on Whisper White. And this time we're going to take our die and just cut that out. Also use the press and seal. This time with the white outline, I'm going to just cut out a couple flowers. I'm just going to use 2 of them. I want to make sure to get leaves with them as well. This we're going to lose a petal on one, but it's okay because it will be layered, and so it won't show that we're losing one of the petals. So then what we want to do is pull out from our press and seal, pull out the ones that are stamped to fill in our petals. So this gives a wonderful 3D stamped look. We are going to heat emboss the sentiment, Sure Do Miss You. So we use our embossing buddy, Versamark, and then white embossing powder. Then I take it to the heat gun and heat it, and it sets it. And this is a designer series paper that we're using. It comes from Flowers for Every Season. Just taking a strip of it and putting it on at a diagonal and then trimming off the back. And then using my silicone sheet, putting adhesive on the back of my flower. And just putting a dot of adhesive inside each of the petal sections, and putting my stamped petals inside. Again, adhesive on the flower. A dot in each petal. And then the stamped images for each one. See how nice the Take Your Pick tool works with this technique? There you go. And then I'm going to flag cut the one edge. Get some dimensionals. Adhere the sentiment and then trim off. This color is Poppy Parade. Poppy Parade and Calypso Coral work so well together. Then our base. There you go. All right. Here's our 4 cards from Focus Friday. Thanks for joining our Blossoms in Bloom Focus Friday.